Hi, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Kelly Steinke, and I am the creator of Silver Moon Spelling Rules. And I'm here with Kate Wagner. Hi,
Hi, I'm Kate. Hi, I'm Kate Wagner. I'm a dyslexia reading interventionist with Read Learning Services, and I'm a remote learning coach as well.
Okay, thank you. And Kate and I are here today to talk about another one of our Silver Moon Spelling Rules. In order to help your teaching and help student learning when you're using the Silver Moon Spelling Rules program.
Mhm.
So if you navigate on over to silvermoonspellingrules.com/blog, that's where you're going to find our spelling rules series of blogs. And here we're talking about the Icky Rule. This rule on the far left, it's Kate always comes up with super creative rule titles here for these blogs. Avoiding the spelling ick with a sick trick.
we like our word games here at Read Learning.
We do. So if you click on that blog, you'll be able to follow along and see what we're discussing here today. So the sick elk was kind of appropriate for this past year with 2019 and 20 being a pandemic with COVID, wasn't it?
It sure was. Poor sick elk. And you can see him pictured below with his tissue. um, so our sick elk rule focuses again on that k sound at the end of a word. And you'll notice that we have two different spellings for that sound. So as you dive into this rule, of course, remember that we do have some prerequisite skills that you'll want to make sure your student has mastered, which you'll find above our rule on the blog. And once you're ready to dive into this rule, notice that we have sick with a CK and elk with just a K. So those are our two target spellings for the sound k at the end. So the rule tells us at the end of a word, spell k with a CK after a short vowel, otherwise use a K. So it's a pretty simple and straightforward rule. Kelly, did you have anything to add about our picture or our character?
Yeah, of course. Well, I will add that, when you're using the system and you're teaching kids these spelling rules, they'll have their own spelling rule card once again. And there's little clues on the cards too. If you get real close here, you'll notice that the I has got the little dip above it, the breve, if we want to be technical here. And that just is a clue to help students remember that you're only using a CK if it's right after a short vowel. Um, this the whole concept of spelling rules with k really can get kind of complex because there's like 5 or 6 different rules that deal with that same exact sound. So what I'm going to do is just scroll down real briefly here. And in this blog, Kate also discusses a little bit about the magic trick rule, which is also a k rule with a little bit different nuance to it.
Yes. So I have my little guy here. I love this character as a dog lover myself. So the magic trick rule is slightly different than sick elk because it's focusing on that ick sound. So that's where the name of our blog comes in, ick. And what's unique about this sound is when you hear it at the end of a multi-syllable word, you're going to spell it with an IC versus a one-syllable word, which will follow that sick elk rule. So this one is a syllable dependent rule. And sometimes this can be a little bit confusing. So I always really emphasize ick with the students because that seems to stick in their mind. And of course, we have our magic trick pup to help remind us of the rule too. If you look closely, there are some hidden clues as well in that picture.
Yeah, super fun way to describe the magic trick rule, really just the concept of ick. Um, if I had created these cards this year, I could have put little face masks on them. But,
Yes.
but
Ick.
This little doggy
Exactly.
here is actually my dog at home. That's where the picture came from. So this is Natty, and Natty got his name, random fact, from Natty Bumppo and the Pathfinder, the James Fenimore Cooper novel, which is kind of fun.
Fun.
So, there are more spelling rules in the Silver Moon system. There's one referenced right here for different patterns of sound, but really when we're focusing on these two, Kate created some really great reproducibles. You'll find the link here at the bottom of the blog. And when we click on that link, I'll show you what those look like. And there's this activity which is good to reinforce the spelling rule, the definition of that rule. At the bottom, you're reinforcing the concept of short vowel, CK, everything else, use a K with real and nonsense words. But then Kate went ahead and you created such a fun and creative page here, as well as a game, which starts here on this page. So I'll let you talk about that game real briefly.
Sure. So, having been in the classroom myself, I know that sometimes, especially around this time of year, things tend to drag. So it's nice to have some games to change it up. So with this game, students are differentiating the different endings of words. So they have the K, they have the CK, and they have the C endings. And it's really just a sort, and you could use it as a sort, but the game comes into play as you race your student to collect 3 within each spelling category. Whoever is the first to collect the 3 using the draw pile is the winner. So if Kelly, if you switch, yep, you can see that one page has a blue and a red set for each player. Of course, you could print out more in black and white and color them with, a different marker. That's one of my teacher hacks. If you wanted to have more than 2 players.
Or if you want to save money on colored
Yeah,
ink, right?
exactly.
Gotta do all black and white at school.
We've all been there. And then you'll notice that the word cards require the student or the players in general to decide what is the right spelling. So it's not just a plain sort, it requires a little bit of knowledge about the rules as well. And I have nonsense words with a little asterisk. So if you have any students that get a little bit bothered by nonsense words or confused, you can tell them that the starred ones are nonsense, but they still follow our rules. So I think that's the whole game. So it's kind of a fun way to change it up.
Yeah. Oh, I hear a little doggy over there too.
Speaking of dogs, yes, the work from home joy.
Yeah. So these are a fun way to practice the sick elk and magic trick rules. I like that we have the nonsense words asterisk. And if your students need help dividing these words into syllables in order to pronounce them clearly, you should check out the Silver Moon Spelling Rule Syllable Division Guide, which is free download at www.silvermoonspellingrules.com. Thank you for joining us today. I should mention too, of course, there always are answer keys attached to the reproducibles. And feel free to contact me if you have any questions about anything as you have fun teaching spelling rules.
Absolutely. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, take care, everyone. Thank you.